Well, Ripple punches right back at the SEC with a memorandum in their opposition against the SEC's motion to compel Ripple to produce legal documents that they supposedly have gotten in 2012 that the SEC believes that Ripple has outside legal attorneys telling Ripple that they may or may not be selling illegal securities. XRP. They also spent a lot of that time laying out their case, one of their key defenses, which is the fair notice defense. They spent pages and pages outlining their case in which they claim the SEC really has no ground, in which they basically lay out the case that makes it darn near impossible for the judge to ignore Ripple's defense and leaves the SEC with not a whole lot left. Also, we're going to look at some time frames in terms of settlement, in terms of if Gary Gensler is actually going to do anything about this case, when does he need to do it by, and if he doesn't, what's going to happen in that case. Also, in this video, we're going to look at a little bit of a price prediction that goes all the way back to 2017, in which Bitcoin ran all the way up to 20,000. We're going to take a look at what XRP did and talk about what some chart analysts are saying could happen to XRP, especially if this thing settles or they out and out win this summer or even this fall, and what could be a best case scenario. And if you're an XRP holder, you're definitely going to want to pay attention to this. Hey everyone, my name is Randy and welcome to the Late Night Grind. And on this channel right now, I'm covering the SEC versus Ripple case, along with other cryptocurrency news, investment markets, personal finance, and stimulus check updates. So if any of those topics interest you, go ahead, click that subscribe button, and don't forget to tap the bell notification icon. That way YouTube will actually notify you when I release a new video, and I do that when there are new developments. And right now, especially with this Ripple case, there's a ton of new developments. And if you're feeling really generous, go ahead and click that thumbs up button. It really helps out with a newer YouTube channel like this and helps tell YouTube to promote this video to other new audiences. So if you do that, I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, guys, well, let's jump right into this. Okay, so first, we're going to be talking about the legal document that Ripple just submitted that went on Twitter. Several attorneys now have posted some of the PDFs from this document. It was actually reviewed by Gary Gensler, who's an attorney who's been following this Ripple case very, very closely. And in this document, they basically lay out why they think that Ripple should not have to turn over some of these legal documents that the SEC claims that they have from 2012, where Ripple basically received outside opinions from other attorneys in which supposedly those outside attorneys told Ripple that they may or may not be doing some sort of securities fraud, that XRP may or may not be a security depending on how they sell it. Now here's the interesting thing. What Ripple lays out is that they don't have to turn over those documents because of attorney-client privilege. Well, here's the thing. As long as those documents were never actually shared with any other third parties, they might actually have a case and not have to turn those documents over. However, it stated that Ripple actually took some of those documents and shared them with some investors, therefore essentially breaching that attorney-client privilege and making it discoverable by the SEC. So if that's the case, they're going to have to bring forth that document. So that's going to be really interesting to see what the judge is going to rule on that. And we're definitely going to be following up with this as soon as those rulings come out. But the bigger part of this memorandum, like I said, was Ripple laying out their defense, which is essentially their key defense, which is their lack of fair notice defense. Basically, they claim that in 2017, the SEC really said nothing to Ripple about what they could be doing in terms of giving Ripple clarity in terms of what XRP, either it's a security or not a security. And Ripple's attorneys went to the extent of basically going to other cases that the SEC was involved in, specifically around cryptocurrencies, and used some of their defenses against them. They referenced one of the cases where the SEC went after a cryptocurrency for their use of an ICO, which Ripple never did, which Ripple never had an ICO. And in another defense, they laid out another case in which the SEC was involved in that stated that these cryptocurrency companies can't use the sales of their tokens to actually go ahead and build out their infrastructure. Well, Ripple doesn't need to worry about that because their infrastructure was already built. In fact, the XRP and the XRP ledger was actually built before Ripple. So they have a lot of good defenses on their side. And from the legal analysis that I've seen, they're actually thinking that a lot of this is going to be really good for Ripple and could eventually result in a Ripple win or settlement. Now, Gary Gensler laid out a time in which Gary Gensler, who's now the head of the SEC, would actually need to take this case up if there's going to be a settlement anytime soon, i.e. in this summer. He said probably in the next 2 weeks, you would probably have to hear something in terms of Gary Gensler stating jumping into this case, stating an opinion, or actually just starting some inner workings regarding a settlement. If we don't hear anything in the next couple of weeks, Jeremy's predicting that Gary Gensler is just going to take a step back and let the courts handle it, and that he's actually not going to step in at all. The interesting thing is that right now, John Deaton, who is representing a bunch of XRP holders, and his law firm is now submitting a petition with 30,000 signatures that is going to go straight to Gary Gensler to petition Gary Gensler to actually investigate Jay Clayton and William Hinman as the original attorneys for the SEC that brought this case against Ripple. So we got all kinds of things flying around right now, left and right. But be sure to be subscribed to this channel, as I'm definitely going to be covering these developments as soon as they come out. All right, so I want to take a step back from the legal proceedings. We're going to look at some price analysis. I just saw an analytical analysis on XRP and actually what the price is doing. And basically what it did was, the SEC case notwithstanding, right now Ripple is at $1.40, which is actually pretty good considering where it was at the last year or two. And what they did was they took a look at what the Bitcoin bull run is doing. And we call it a Bitcoin bull run. It's basically a crypto bull run, but Bitcoin has been the main dog for some time now. But in the crypto space, at least right now, everything still hinges on what Bitcoin is doing. So if you believe the stock to flow model, there's plenty of people out there predicting that Bitcoin is going to see over $400,000 to $420,000 by the end of this year because of what the stock to flow model has predicted. It's been extremely accurate so far. So I saw a chart analyst basically going over what XRP did in 2017, 2018 while Bitcoin was having its big run up to 20,000. Of course, we know at the same time, Ripple was actually, XRP was actually having its all-time high as well at $2.77. Now, he did some extrapolation on not just the stock to flow model with Bitcoin, but in terms of the hash rate and the mining. He also took into consideration the number of wallets that are holding XRP, specifically the number of whales that are holding XRP. Now, I did a video a couple of weeks ago that showed the number of whales, a whale being a wallet or a person holding a massive amount of XRP. The number of wallets that own 1 million or more XRP has gone up, and the number of wallets that own 10 million or more XRP has also gone up. He also took a look at the RippleNet ledger and the fact that there are hundreds of new clients coming on board and using the RippleNet ledger, using XRP as its intended purpose for transactionary purposes. And basically used all that to extrapolate what a stock to flow model following Bitcoin could mean for XRP. And without getting super technical, because I'm not a chart analyst, I just watch them, this is what they said. By the end of the year, best case scenario, XRP could hit $60.94. Now that just sounds mind-blowing to me, but if you're an XRP holder, but I know there's a lot of XRP holders right now that are holding on for dear life because they see things like this, because they've been following stories like this, they've been following analysis like this, they've been following the SEC case and all the legal analysis like this, and they know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. But here's the thing, that light at the end of the tunnel, it could be that $61. Or that light at the end of the tunnel, it could be a train. In either case, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Let me know in the comments section below, do you think that light at the end of the tunnel, is that a train, or is that a bright light, or is that a bright $61 light at the end of this year? Let me know in the comments below. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate you watching this video and giving it a big thumbs up, and I'll see you guys on the next video.